Hello, welcome to this week's MMA in 5. I'm Matthew Salzer of MMAfreak.com. I can be found, as usual, on at my Twitter at Matthew Salzer, and I'm also available on Facebook and Google+. So, digging into, just diving right into it, major things that happened this week. Chris Leban announced his retirement. This was not unforeseen because he has been on a bit of a losing streak, and he's been through quite a bit in his career. He's had a long career with the UFC. I think it's actually good that he went out, that he decided to retire right now instead of being cut from the UFC, because the UFC hadn't officially announced that they were cutting him, but I'm sure they do appreciate him as a fighter. But he was put in that no-win that loser goes home match with Uriah Hall, and he just got outclassed by Uriah this time. Uriah finally unleashed his that killer instinct we saw from him in Tough 17. So I think that it's better that he decided to retire instead of doing like some of these veterans do, where they go out and they like trying to scrap a living with all these regional and secondary promotions and stuff like that. So that was a major thing. Then we also got news that a upcoming UFC fight night in March. It hasn't been confirmed. The actual fight card has not been confirmed, but there's talks of pushing it back from a Saturday to a Sunday because Fox Sports 1 wants to air a motocross event. Motocross? Are we still not that mainstream that we're getting pushed back for a motocross event? I mean, I thought Fox Sports 1 was Fox Sports 1, not Speed still. So, that baffles me. That just plainly baffles me that they'd be pushing a UFC fight night from a Saturday to a Sunday. Not that it couldn't be done, because they used to do WECs on Sundays all the time, but it's still very baffling that would happen. But that's that. So the major fight card that we have coming up is the UFC on Fox card, where we have Benson Henderson fighting Josh Thompson. This is an intriguing matchup because you basically have two former lightweight world champions. Thompson was a former champion with Strikeforce, and Henderson was recently the UFC lightweight champion, but then he got dethroned by Anthony Pettis. And actually, Thompson was set to face Pettis at the last UFC on Fox of this last year, but then Pettis got injured, and he got pulled completely from the fight. So this fight has mild title implications. I would imagine that if Thompson won it, he'd still be in line for a title shot. There's also a variety of factors, like Gilbert Melendez. I think he deserves a title shot relatively soon. T.J. Grant, they're trying to get him a shot, but he's had those constant issues of the constant concussions that he's been getting. And so this has title implications. I'm not sure that if Henderson won, he would necessarily get the title shot, but it would definitely bring him that much closer to maybe a rematch with Henderson. There's also some other good fights on that fight card, like Gabriel Gonzaga, Stipe Miocic. Gonzaga is a former contender, and Miocic is definitely on the rise. I think Miocic has a future, but yeah, that's all I really have to say for this week. I will see you next week when I preview the first UFC 169, the first pay-per-view of the year. So see you next week.